Like we always do at this time, I go for mine, I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky.
Hey there guys. So this is Nick now. I'm just doing a little bit of a video summary kind of on the different things that I thought with the Japanese education system in comparison to ours. We had our time with the Shimane students over the last couple of weeks, and we got to do a lot of different stuff with them. I noticed a lot of really things that I didn't expect that were coming, that were a lot different from kind of what I thought they would be, especially given Japanese reputation for being such an educational power. The undergraduate education, kind of thinking about high school, elementary school, was a little bit more what I expected. It's very highly structured. There's a lot of, I'd say, kind of rigor in their schedules. There's a lot of emphasis on learning math, sciences, things like that, even though that's been relaxed somewhat in the last couple of years and it had just been tightened up. That's really highly focused on. But once you get to college, it's actually not as rigorous as it had seemed to be, which is something that really surprised me, and something that is kind of backwards from high school, where people say that high school in America is something that's not that hard at all. It's not something that's difficult. And when you get to college, that's where things really get difficult, and you really have to study and you really have to work hard. So that's one difference that I thought was kind of glaring that we have compared to them, which I thought was really interesting. Second off, I thought that the tuition rates that they pay in comparison to us is extremely different, extremely kind of surprising, just considering the fact that they put such a premium on education, and they put such a premium on being kind of competitive in the world. You would think that they value their education to the point that they do a higher tuition compared to us, whereas that's not even true at all, where we pay those tuitions that are known to be sky high, kind of through the roof tuitions, and they pay very little. I know that when we were spending our time with the students, a lot of them would say that they used a lot of their extra money on things such as, shopping, clothes, things that weren't very tuition related, where if you ask just about any American student, any of them are going to tell you that they spend a lot of their extra money on tuition. They spend a lot of their money on extra things that they don't really, or they don't spend a lot of their money on extra things that a Japanese student would apparently have extra money to spend on. So that was something that it's extremely kind of a big contrast from here that had surprised me, kind of blown me away a little bit. I just didn't think that was kind of, I didn't think that would be the case, and that's something that was incredibly interesting. They also do have some type of sports a little bit, which I didn't think was the case. I thought that they had somewhat kind of just an educational system that didn't have college sports. That's not the case. They do have clubs, they have things like that where their students can participate and they can do different things. It's just what they like to do is a little bit different from us. So in that aspect, I guess we're set up sort of the same, but that's something that was a little bit different than what I considered or what I had thought it would be. So that was really interesting. By the way, if you're wondering where I am right now, I'm in Honduras. I'm doing a study abroad trip, and it's awesome, and I love it. And I'll give you kind of a view, kind of a little tour of where I'm staying in a minute, just as soon as I close up my presentation. But just in closing, I thought that this was a really great opportunity to be a part of this ISS class and having these Japanese kids come to us and kind of get a feel for their culture, get a feel for how their education system works, especially in comparison to ours. It's great to be able to learn new things that I wasn't able to learn before. I really loved having them here. They were all very nice. They were all extremely polite. Kind of gave me a different perspective of different cultures, so that was a really great experience to have. I also was able to communicate with a friend that lives in Tokyo that gave me some great information on Japanese students in more developed areas than, say, Shimane. So I had the opportunity to have something that was a little bit more of kind of a multitude of opinions on the subject. So that was a really great opportunity. So I'm just going to wrap that up real quick, and then I'm just going to give you an idea of where I am staying, because it's pretty amazing, and I don't want to make you all jealous, but this is actually this is unbelievable. So here's where we're staying, kind of the building. A little bit of the sunrise. It's good stuff. As you can see, we have 2 of our brigaders hanging out, watching the sunrise. We've got a nice pool, and we have our little store here. So this was kind of this is where I've been staying for the last 6 days. It's been an awesome trip. Just give you a little update on what we're doing. We are actually providing medical relief to underserved, more rural communities, just helping prescribing medications, things of that nature. So it's been a really great experience. It's been a great trip, life-changing trip actually. It's been awesome. If you ever have the chance to do something like this, I highly recommend it. I think that's about all I got for you. So I hope you all enjoyed your break, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks.
I fear I'll die from complications. Complications due to things that I've left undone. That all my debts will be left unpaid. Feel like a cripple without a cane. I'm like a jack of all trades who's a master of none. Then there's my father. He's always looking on the bright side, saying things like, son, life just ain't that hard. He is the grand optimist. I am the world's poor pessimist. You give him burdens sometimes, and he will escape unscarred. I guess I'll take after my mother.
It's like really zoomed in. Check it out.